At a city railway station, a poor man lived every day. He survived by begging from passengers sitting on trains that came and went. Days passed the same way. One day, while he was begging, his eyes fell on a tall man dressed neatly in a suit and boots. The beggar thought this man looked very rich, and if he begged from him, he would surely receive good money. He immediately approached him and stretched out his hand to beg. The man looked at the beggar carefully and asked, "You keep asking all the time, but do you ever give anything to anyone?" The beggar replied in surprise, "Sir, I am a beggar. What can I possibly give to anyone? What status do I have?" The man smiled and said, "If you cannot give anything to anyone, then you have no right to ask either. I am a businessman, and I believe in exchange. If you have something to give in return, only then will I give you something." Saying this, the man boarded the train and left. The beggar remained standing there. The man's words echoed in his heart. He began to think that perhaps he did not receive much alms because he never gave anything in return. But then another question arose in his mind. He was a beggar, so what could he give? He remained troubled by this thought for 2 days. On the third day, while sitting near the station, his eyes fell on some flowers blooming on the plants nearby. Suddenly, an idea came to his mind. Why not give flowers to people in exchange for alms? He liked the idea. He plucked some flowers and went to beg on the train. Now, whenever someone gave him money, he gave that person a flower in return. People happily kept the flowers. Gradually, the beggar realized that people were now giving him money more willingly than before. As long as he had flowers, he kept receiving alms, and when the flowers ran out, the money stopped coming too. One day, he saw that the same suit-wearing man was again sitting on the train. The beggar happily went up to him and said, "Today, I have flowers to give you. If you give me something, I will give you flowers in return." The man gave him some money and took the flowers, smiling as he said, "Wonderful, now you have become a businessman like me." Hearing these words, the beggar's eyes sparkled. It felt as if someone had awakened his true identity. Looking up at the sky, he said loudly, "I am not a beggar. I am a businessman, and I too can become rich." People looked at him strangely, but from the next day onward, the beggar was no longer seen at that station. 6 months later, 2 men dressed in suits were traveling at the same station. Their eyes met, and one of them shook hands with the other and asked, "Do you recognize me?" The other replied, "No, I think we are meeting for the first time." The first man smiled and said, "No, this is our third meeting. The first time, you taught me a rule of life, and the second time, you told me who I really was." Then the other man recognized him and said in surprise, "Oh, you are that beggar. But where are you going now, dressed like this?" The first man said proudly, "I'm the same person, but now I'm a large flower merchant traveling to another city for my business." He continued, "You taught me that to receive something in life, we must first give. As long as I consider myself a beggar, that is all I remained. But the day I accepted myself as a businessman, my life changed. People were not giving me alms, they were buying my flowers. With that money, I built my business." Both businessmen smiled and walked out of the station together. This story teaches us that success does not exist outside. It exists within our thinking. As long as we see ourselves as small, the world will see us the same way. But the day we change our identity, our destiny begins to change as well. Change your thinking, and life changes on its own.